What is up, YouTube? So check this out. We literally have, hold on a second, 2 boxes of this mac and cheese. And I went and poured the noodles into a pan and turned the stove on to 8. And now that we have the noodles going in this hot water, I'm going to get these noodles nice and soft before we add our next ingredients. You just pour the noodles into a pan, add some water so that the water is just barely above the noodle level. And you start boiling the water. Get it nice and steamy. Just keep on stirring it. And eventually all these noodles are going to get nice and soft. And what we're going to add to it, what we're going to add to this mac and cheese, you'll see. Just keep watching. It's going to be awesome. Holy crap, he's cooking something else besides a bacon cheeseburger and a pizza? What the hell? Wait, this autistic retard can cook something else other than fucking bacon cheeseburgers and pizza? Well, color me shocked. You know, that's the thing of it. People treat me like I'm stupid, and I'm like, doesn't that make them stupid, not me? Anyways, put a little bit of water just above your noodles in the pan. Turn the stove on to 8. That's one setting below the highest setting. And this is just to get the pasta cooked up as quickly as we can, because the rest of these ingredients are going to go in real soon. Okay, I've had to redo this video like 3 times now, so hopefully 3rd time's the charm. The noodles are starting to look pretty good. I poured like 2 boxes in here, because that one box just wasn't enough. But this way I'll have some for later, you know what I'm saying? Like, never hurts to have leftovers. Started off kind of like yesterday, flipping out about stupid shit, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. So I'm like, nope, I refuse to let my temper take a hold of me. I've dealt with stupider assholes on YouTube, so fuck it. Alright, now that we got that stirring up, once that water gets down to a certain level, we're going to add some more ingredients. We're going to add some evaporated milk, a whole can of that. Add some more water. Stir in some butter. And then add the cheese powder. And after we add the water, the water and the evaporated milk and the butter and the cheese powder, then we're going to throw some of this on top. Some of this chicken stuffing mix. And we're going to add some more butter on top of that with some peanut butter and some brown sugar. And we're just going to stir it all together. Add some water as it goes down. And just keep stirring it up until it's nice and cooked up. Like I said, I have no idea how this recipe is going to taste. All I know is I've seen people put peanut butter and cheese on a cracker. So I'm like, well, okay, same concept. I mean, if people like peanut butter and cheese mixed together, then, But before we add any sort of cheese powder or anything, we got to make sure our noodles are nice and soft. When you're making mac and cheese, you don't want hard noodles. That's just gross, in my opinion. Give it a stir. Alright. I don't know. What do you think? Those noodles look pretty soft. Let's give it a couple more minutes. Then we'll take our evaporated milk and our cheese powders. And some butter. Make this easier on ourselves. Let's open up our butter here. What do we got? We got a stick of butter. We could use some of this. Get one of those out. Now that the water's nice and bubbly, we'll keep stirring it. That water level's starting to go down just a little bit. It's where the pasta's just barely sitting above the surface. Usually you can tell if the pasta's done if it floats to the top. You notice when pasta is solid and uncooked, it just sinks to the bottom. Okay, so when you cook your mac and cheese in the boiling water on the stove, YouTube, you'll notice that when it's fully cooked, it floats to the top and sticks to the side. Beautiful. So we're going to turn this down to a medium heat. And we're going to add some butter, some cheese powder, some condensed milk, and maybe a little bit more water. We'll do this. I'm going to turn the camera this way so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so bear with me, folks. This is just a random recipe that I'm throwing together. And like I said, I have no idea how it's going to taste. No idea. Are we going to need this whole butter stick for this recipe? Probably not. Maybe a little under half of it. Or less. Give or take. We're not going to need that much, I don't think. So I'll go for it. Cube in there, just like that. There we go. A little bit of that butter. And we're going to be adding more butter to it as we add the stuffing mix too, so I'm not worried about that. Right. Now after, I want to show you each step. Okay, now that our noodles are cooked and that we've added the butter to it, let's add some other stuff to it. Take our condensed milk and just, or evaporated, I mean. We're going to take our evaporated milk and throw it in here. Son of a bitch. Okay, hold on a second. Oh yeah, the can opener freaking sucks, dude. So I'm gonna need to do this. Well, maybe I haven't figured it out yet. So I'm notoriously horrible with can openers. I'm sure the can opener works just fine, but I haven't figured out how to work it because I got a new one and. Luckily, we can use this this kitchen knife right here to open it up. Yeah, kitchen knife to open it up. And we're gonna dump we're gonna dump this evaporated milk straight in here. There we go. There we go. That's more like it. Give that a shake. Now for your 1 cup of evaporated milk, you're going to want to add 1 cup of water. So we'll go ahead and walk over to our sink, fill this up with some water. Alright, so 1 cup of this water on top of it. There we go. One cup of evaporated milk with 1 cup of water to go with it. And I want to add some more butter to it. We may end up using the rest of the stick for the whole recipe because this is a pretty big. Alright, so there's half the butter for the mac and cheese, and we'll save the other half for the stuffing mix. Alright. Now take a look what we have so far. You can see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stir this around. All that butter is going to cook in there. Yep. We'll go ahead and turn this back up now to an 8. This will melt the butter faster. Let's see how soft the noodles are. Perfect. Beautiful. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, those are nice and soft. That's what we're looking for. Now that the butter's in there, let's add our cheese powder, shall we? Now I'm going to throw in our cheese powder into our pan. Show you how it's done real easy. You just take your cheese packet, open it up, and we'll dump it in there. There's enough butter in there melted with the evaporated milk or whatever you want to call it, condensed milk, whatever. And yeah. Evaporated. Okay. I got my words mixed up, but poured 1 cup of evaporated milk with 1 cup of water and like some butter. There's our cheese powder. Let's go ahead and give this a stir, shall we? I'm going to take all that cheese powder that we have in here from the 2 packets, and we're going to mix it in there with all that butter and that milk. And we're just going to keep stirring it while it's on a nice hot heat of 8. That'll melt the butter in here a little bit faster. So keep stirring it. Keep stirring it. Keep stirring it. We're about to make some bomb-ass mac and cheese, or at least try to. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I'm just throwing stuff together, so. And sometimes that's the fun of cooking YouTube, is just throwing stuff together and seeing how it's going to taste. You never know, you might come up with something pretty delicious. Okay, all that cheese sauce is mixed in there nicely. Now as that milk evaporates, all it's going to be left behind is a buttery. As that milk evaporates in the pan, all that's going to be left is a buttery, creamy cheese sauce for your noodles. So if you don't got like milk and butter, like regular milk and butter, you know, this works too. Alright. Now that the recipe's starting to come together a bit, I'm feeling a lot better about this. Like, I had to redo the video like 3 times. I had a bunch of outside factors messing with me. Cool, man. That's looking good. Now we're going to add a couple more things to it. Let's see. Some stovetop stuffing. And I'm thinking about maybe 2 or 3 packets of this stuffing should do it. Oh wait, never mind. Hold on. There's a bunch of stuff that goes in here now. Like breadcrumbs. Okay, throwing the seasoning for the stuffing, or throwing our breadcrumbs on top of it. Push that down just a little bit. Yep. Alright. Throw this stuff away real quick. I'm painting wands, that's why I have the trash can in the living room. After throwing all the stuffing mixtures into the top of our pan, everything that came with that stuffing box, we're just going to throw it in the pan. Just like that. That's getting pretty full, man, but we should have just enough room to put a little bit of water on top, some more butter, some peanut butter and brown sugar. Just give it a stir and let it simmer on a meat like 4 minutes or like 5 minutes. Alright, so after dumping all the stovetop stuffing mixtures into our pan here, I'll give you a shot of that. Give you a shot of that real quick. Beautiful. Let's add some more ingredients to it, shall we? Yeah, let's go ahead and turn that down to a medium heat. There we go. Turn it down to a nice medium heat so it doesn't overboil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rest of this butter, bloop, right on top there, just like that. The rest of that butter I'm throwing a gob of peanut butter. Peanut butter will give it some sweetness, maybe some protein to go with it, you know. I think it'll taste good. Now I'm using a nice creamy peanut butter to mix in there. Like 2 big ass gobs of it right there, just for like a little bit of flavor. Maybe a little bit more. Like 3 to 4, 2, 3, 4 gobs of it. Get on there. Get the fuck on there. It's not wanting to come off, huh? There it goes. Yeah, that creamy peanut butter is delicious. Alright, so now we're done with our peanut butter. We're done with our butter. There's definitely a lot of peanut butter. I might add more to it here in a bit. I might not, but we'll start off with that. And then I'm going to add a pinch of brown sugar on top of this. Do a small chunk of it. There we go. This is a big enough chunk. It's a big enough chunk of brown sugar to break it up. And just for a hint of sweets, we're going to take this brown sugar and we're going to sprinkle it on top of our peanut butter. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. And we're going to sprinkle on top of our peanut butter and butter. There we go. Sprinkling there. Sprinkle it. There we go. Now, let's take a look at our thing so far. Here's what we got. There's the stuffing mixture, there's the peanut butter, there's the butter, all that cheese. I turned it down to a medium heat so that way we could take and stir it up here. Kind of, yeah. I don't want to make a humongous mess. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to mix all that stuffing mixture with the butter and the stuffing mixture and the cheese and the mac and cheese and the peanut butter. All the ingredients we just put in here, we're gonna mix together. Gonna push all of our ingredients down and back up and all around. What the hell is he doing? Making some bomb-ass mac and cheese. What are you doing? The only thing that make this better is afterwards you added some like chunks of fully cooked beef and maybe like a little bit of bacon. Yeah, that would set this mac and cheese to the next level. But honestly, I'm not complaining. This looks like it'll be pretty tasty. You know what's funny about our society, YouTube? Now being PC is considered offensive. Like, oh great, it's 2019. We can't even make any jokes anymore. When literally we've been offended by everything else. We've literally been offended by everything else. And now the only thing left to get offended at is being offended. Literally, the only thing left to get offended at is just being offended. Now the idea of being PC is considered offensive. Like, oh, it's 2019. We can't even make jokes anymore. This is bullshit. And it's like, no, it's not about that. It's just about respect. You know? But what do you think, YouTube, of this stuffing mac and cheese monstrosity? Does that look good or does that look nasty? I don't know. I think it looks good. I want to add some more water to it and let it simmer for a bit. Because now I got it all mixed up. All that mac and cheese is mixed up into that stuffing. That didn't turn out too bad as I'm sitting here mixing it around. That looks kind of good, actually. Hold on, let me tell you. Let me have a smell of this, huh? Oh, dude. Oh, dude. That just smells amazing. I can smell the peanut butter. I can smell a hint of sweets. Savory, cheesy. Oh, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to set the camera down right here for a second. I'll grab a fork so I can... grab a fork here so I can scrape off the remnants of what I mixed around off of the deal here, off of my mixing spoon. Yeah. I might add like a little bit more water to the top of it, just to help that stuffing out a bit so it's not so thick. That peanut butter and that butter is going to make it real thick. I'm going to try a sample of it real quick. Yep. Oh, that is crazy. The peanut butter and the mac and cheese together definitely work. Then you get a blast from that stuffing, and it's an interesting taste combination for sure. And then the hint of that stuffing is complemented with just a hint, just a small enough amount of brown sugar. I might add some more brown sugar to kind of even it out a bit. Because, yeah, that's good, but I'm going to add some more brown sugar to that. This is the fun of cooking, just experimenting, coming up with new stuff. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add some more brown sugar and some more water to it and let it simmer on that medium heat for a bit. Give it about maybe 5 minutes or so, maybe 4. Okay.